Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of Teamer Talk. And joining me today is my good friend Rena Romano. Rena is an author, keynote speaker, podcast, certified speaking and mindset coach, all-round superstar, frankly. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. But after an award-winning career in construction sales, she took a bit of a left turn, a right turn. Anyway, she took a turn. I don't think she saw it coming. Whether she did or not, we're about to find out. But clearly, not only over the last few years, Rena has had an amazing effect on her own life and her own career, but she's also affected, it's not unreasonable to say, millions of other people. So with that, Rena, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Carl. Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to be here with you and see your lovely face and to be with your listeners. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, I'll pay you for the lovely paste comment later, all right? The envelope's in the mail, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Rena, share with everybody the story, okay? Because I'm warning everybody as well. Make sure you've got your Kleenex ready, okay? Because there's going to be a bit of Kleenex. We're going to have a Kleenex moment. I promise you, you're going to have a Kleenex moment. So make sure you've got your Kleenex ready and take it over to you. Tell us the story.
Thank you. Well, obviously, there's a happy ending to this story.
There's always a happy ending because you're here.
There's
right?
always an upside, like I like to say. Well, Carl, we've known each other for quite a few years, and you know that I am a survivor of child sexual abuse, sexual assault, and domestic violence.
Right.
Also, sexual harassment from many bosses when I was a young adult. I knew that I wanted my life to be different. I didn't share my secret for years. And I watched a show, and you know how gifts come in all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
I was watching this show, and this female voice was on that show, and she shared her story of child abuse. And I was suicidal. I was at the bottom rung, you know, I found literally, I was at the bottom. I found my bottom. I couldn't live with the shame or the pain anymore of what happened to me. But I kept listening to this female talk, and this gift came through the TV. That was the box that this gift came in. And that person was Oprah Winfrey. Wow. And her show saved my life. And I thought, wow, she could be so successful. She can be so happy and positive after everything that she's gone through. I want the same thing. I want to be happy. I don't want to be defined by my past.
Right.
So I called for help. I drank myself one night into a stupor. I woke up the next day. I was sitting there contemplating how I was going to kill myself. I was looking for the perfect outfit to wear because I was more concerned about the people who were going to find my body than how my death might affect my family.
Right.
So I wanted to have the perfect outfit on when they found the body. I know it's crazy. You're not thinking rational.
Right.
But instead, I called for help. The next day when I woke up, I was curled up in a ball in the corner of my bedroom between the wall and my dresser. And I'm like, I don't want to live like this anymore. And if Oprah can do it, I can do it.
Right.
So I called for help.
And who did you call? Can we ask?
I called a local crisis center in Tampa, Florida. Right. And there was a man that answered, but he was very calming, and he made me feel safe. And he also made me feel proud that I called for help. It was very, his welcoming, his love, his warmth helped me stay on that phone with him. And he gave me information where to get help, and he made me call him back later in the day. He was going to send the police to make sure I didn't kill myself. Right. And I'm like, I'm so determined to beat this, to win this, to fix what they broke. You have my word, mister. I don't remember his name. It was years ago, but
Really?
the man is my hero. The man on the phone, I don't know who he was, but he's my hero.
Okay. And what's that process of not just healing, because presumably before you can heal, you've got to understand what the problem is, what the challenge is, and you've got to accept that and go out. What's that process like?
Well, first you're in denial. I mean,
Right.
for years, it's the same emotions for grief, all those emotions, denial, grief, anger, all of those emotions, the 7 emotions. But for years, it went on for years. I pretended like nothing was going on, nothing happened, because I felt like I had to keep the family together. And I don't know why the child feels responsible of keeping this secret, because they make you feel that way. They threaten you. But if I told, I felt responsible for breaking up my family unit.
Right.
And as bad as it was, that's the only family unit I knew. So I pretended nothing was wrong. And even my best friend, when she read my book, His Puppet No More, she's like, what? Yeah, I could have won an Oscar, for pretending, but I was in denial and I didn't want to acknowledge my truth.
Somebody else that I've spoken to that's been through a similar challenging scenario,
Right.
said to me that at one stage it felt actually like the norm.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't known anything else.
Absolutely.
So isn't this what happens in every household or to every person? Or
well, I wasn't sure that it would happen in every household. I thought I was the only one.
Right.
And that's the problem. There are millions of us, and we think we're the only one. But now with the Me Too movement, we're seeing that we're not the only one, and we're not alone, and we don't have to heal alone. And we don't have to be ashamed of our past either any longer. I grew tired of being ashamed of crimes they committed against me.
Right.
And I refused to live a lifetime in prison in that shame. So I did a TEDx talk. We can talk about that later. But
Right.
I was determined to fix what they broke.
Right. Okay. So you went through all your childhood and school and college. You had a very successful career in sales. But then October 2009 has got to be another date that is indelibly stamped in Rena's mindset. Share with everybody what happened then.
Well, I got a call from Harpo Studios. And prior to that, 2 years prior to that, Carl, I was telling all my friends and family, I'm going to be on the Oprah Winfrey Show one day. And they're like, yeah, right, Rena, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, woohoo, she's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'll buy a ticket for that.
Exactly, right. And but when you know something, Carl, you just know it. I knew I was going to be on the Oprah Winfrey Show. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew deep in my soul it was going to happen. Because she saved my life too. So she was doing more shows on child abuse and sexual assault. And she said, if you have a story, send us your email. Right. Of course, the law of attraction works if you put it in action.
Right.
I mean, they weren't going to call me up and say, hey, Rena, you want to be on the show with Oprah?
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
I had to send an email, and they called me. And Harpo Studios, and I'm like, and she said some of the email back to me. I'm like, okay, this is for real.
It wasn't like, oh, Carl, get off the phone, stop messing about. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, and they're like, we're going to tape the show on such and such date. Will you be available? I'm like, no, I'm going to be on a ship going from Boston to Canada with my family. We're celebrating my in-laws' 60th wedding anniversary. And they're like, well, can you cancel it? And I'm like, no, it's not. It's for my in-laws' 60th wedding anniversary. So they say, well, we're not sure if we're going to do it. Send us your itinerary and we'll contact you on the ship. Well, we got on the ship on Saturday. On Sunday, I get an email. We're going to tape the show on Thursday, and our next port stop is on Tuesday. We'll have a ticket to fly you from Canada to Chicago.
Get out of here.
No, I literally jumped ship to be on the Oprah Winfrey show. True story.
Right.
My husband stayed on the ship with his family, his mother and father and his brothers and sisters, and they celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. But since my husband stayed, Harpo flew my sister up from Kansas City to spend the week with me. Picked us up in a stretch limo, hotel suite. I mean, it was wonderful. And it was the scariest thing I ever did.
Really?
Oh.
So from a business perspective, because this is a B2B show, right?
Right.
So that had to be a major pivotal turning point in your professional career, right?
Well, who's not going to leverage? Hey, I was on the Oprah Winfrey show.
Hey,
right? You're all about leverage, right, Carl? Yes. You're all about leverage. Who's not going to leverage that? I mean, that looks so cool in my bio. And yes, it has helped me a lot get on stage. I'm a professional speaker, keynote speaker. I'm a podcaster. It's helped me get on shows too with you and others. Having that, in my bio on the Oprah Winfrey show. So sure, I'm going to leverage it.
And I don't blame you one iota. I mean, it is, let's face it, it is the sort of PR that money cannot buy.
Absolutely.
There is no money. There is no budget for this. You cannot buy it.
I mean, out of the billions of people on this earth, she's had 35,000 guests, I think, and I'm one of them.
Right.
And it was such an honor to meet her, and I got to tell her to her face, you saved my life. Your show saved my life. So that was awesome.
So, and absolute kudos for that. I mean, like I said, we're all not worthy. I don't know a single person watching this, if they haven't been on the Oprah show, that would not give their entire marketing budget over to you and say, just get me on there and get me to do it. So kudos to you. And it just also goes to show that it's got nothing to do with money either. It's just got to do with the right story, the right pitch, the right place, the right time. So, you don't have to have millions and millions of dollars.
I knew it in my heart and soul that I was going to be on her show. Like I said, I didn't know how and when, but it would not have happened had I not sent the email. You've got to put the action in place with that law of attraction. Right.
And so I want to move on now. You've come up with this beautiful title, this Sir Thriver.
Yes.
As opposed to Survivor, Sir Thriver. And how did you come to that? And how did that come about?
Well, we're victims, then we're survivors, and then we're thrivers. But that wasn't good enough for me. And the reason why I say that, I am not ashamed of my past, and I'm acknowledging it. And part of being a Sir Thriver, keeping that Sir, is to encourage other survivors to get help, get healed, and get happy. So if I acknowledge my past and show the potential of what's possible. So that's why I had it trademarked, Sir Thriver. Right. And instead of, people would say, oh, well, don't let your past define you. I say, oh, yes, it does. Right. Because I celebrate my courage, strength, and tenacity. Right. And what it took to persevere during and after what happened to me. That's what I'm that's my message to survivors. We do not have to be ashamed of what happened to us. We should be proud of how we persevered through that trauma. And that's what I want to celebrate. And that is what Sir Thriver is all about.
Right. So, and that makes total sense. That makes complete sense to me. So And clearly it's worked because you've done a TEDx presentation, and the video of that I know has had over 145,000 views.
Yeah.
I know that because I looked this morning before I came on.
Yay! It's over 145. Hey, that's good.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. People can watch your talk. Just go onto YouTube and they'll find it there, or it's via your website and all that sort of stuff. We're not going to talk about that now. What I want to talk about is what happened to the people that reached out to you as a direct result of seeing that TED Talk.
Oh my goodness, Carl, I have heard from men survivors, men and women all over the world, from Australia to from Europe, all over Asia. It's amazing. The response and the thank yous, the private messages coming through my website. They can contact me. But it's thank you because they they felt the same way. They just didn't know how to articulate it. And it's a powerful message, not only for survivors, but for family and friends, because even a male survivor said on one of the comments that everybody should watch this. And I'm very fortunate, Dr. Larkin in the UK is using my TEDx talk as a teaching tool for his trauma therapists. And I'm just so honored for that. It's called Healing from Sexual Abuse Can Start with One Word. And I don't tell people the word, they have to go watch the talk. Okay. But
I know it, Miss.
You know it, you've seen it. But I encourage people and families and friends of survivors to go watch that. And because they have a hard time, when someone shares their story, they don't know how to respond.
Right.
And it's not family and friends' jobs to fix us. It's their job to love and support us.
Right. Okay. Well, I know, because I've, like you said, actually at the top of the hour, I've known you for a long time, and I've watched your career literally blossom and grow. And I've noticed and I've watched all the things that you've embraced, and your coaching and your teaching and your public speaking. And so how do you approach your journey from a business perspective? I mean, do you just say, look, here I am, here is my story. If you're interested, I have a story to tell, which may or may not be of help to you, right?
That is correct. And before, because I'm a certified speaking coach, before I was just concentrating on that aspect because I was still fearful of putting my foot in the water out there. I don't care anymore. Right. I am on a mission now. I wrote something this morning that we're here to show other survivors the endless possibilities of you. And because I have so many male and women survivors say, how can you be so happy after what happened to you? And that's what I want to get out. I'm going to have interviews with other survivors who have been successful, because I want to show them what's possible after trauma, after counseling. So that's my target market now. That's what I've been wanting to do for the past couple of years. And now I'm going full steam ahead.
All right, great. All right. I mean, I never get tired of hearing this story, Rena. I just want to thank you for sharing it, and actually, more importantly, I think actually having the courage to take that first step to share it, because somebody somewhere said, it's the first step that's always the most difficult, right? And so,
absolutely.
So thank you for that. So I want to have a little bit of fun now.
Here we go.
A little bit of fun. Not that we haven't been having fun already, but clearly it's a very serious topic on a very serious issue.
And thank you for allowing me to share it with your listeners, because they're out there.
It's my pleasure. And if just one person can get help and can reach out to you and get this behind them and become a survivor because of this, then it's all been worthwhile, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So a few questions. You can go as deep or as wide as you want.
Oh boy.
What book has had the biggest impact on your success in business? Excluding your own, it doesn't count.
Excluding my own. Okay. I have to tell you.
Get the plug in. Come on, get the plug in.
Jack Canfield, The Success Principles.
Okay. All right. All right.
That's a good one, and I got to meet him.
All right. Does Rena want to be in control or in charge?
Ooh, do I want to be in control or in charge?
Yeah.
That's two different things, isn't it?
Her.
It depends on my mood. Some days I want to be in control, and other days I'm going to be in charge. So I think it depends on my mood for the day.
Okay. All right. Favorite song or tune that you use to get yourself hyped up? You know, like this. Come on, I got to get myself in the mindset. This is it. What's that?
What's that tune from Rocky? You know,
Dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
yeah, that's the one. Okay.
The Eye of the Tiger.
All right. Favorite cocktail?
Oh, Cosmo.
See, do you know, viewers, every time I ask that question, I haven't had a guest yet that skips a beat. Nobody ever goes, or let me think. Straight in. All right.
Yeah,
favorite quote. Favorite quote, Rena?
Oh, my favorite quote. I think it's the one that I coined, and it says, "Fear will challenge you, but regret will haunt you."
Fear will challenge you, but regret will haunt you.
Yes.
All right. What's your least favorite business word, and what's your most favorite business word?
My least favorite business work.
That's a 4-letter word, right?
That's a four-letter
word,
yeah.
Right?
Okay, my least favorite and my most I think service, because I love being of service, and so I like that.
Okay. Does Rena want to own or does she want to lease?
Oh, I own.
Oh, I own.
I own. I guess that's part of that control thing.
Right in there. Right in there. So, if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what profession would you like to attempt? What other profession would you like to attempt, and why?
Oh, geez. Haven't thought about that one. I don't know. I guess a TV broadcaster.
All right.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Got a touch of the Martha Stewart's going on there as well, I think.
Ah, there you go.
There you go. All right. Okay. All right. Are you going to spend your money investing or traveling?
Both.
All right. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely both.
You're in a very fortunate position, a little bit like I. You get paid to speak.
Yes.
So you're traveling anyway. So you get
Correct.
paid to travel.
Correct.
All right. So all good. All right. All right. Okay. What's your idea of misery, and what's your idea of heaven?
Heaven's right this moment.
Ah.
It is. Heaven is right this moment, being present in the moment and enjoying where you are.
Okay.
And being grateful where you are. To me, that's heaven. Misery is not being in this moment.
Okay. It's always wanting to be somewhere else.
Always wanting to be, yes, always wanting to be somewhere else. Good point. And not appreciating where you are in the moment.
Okay. What's your favorite social media platform?
I have to say Facebook. I haven't really nailed Instagram yet, and Twitter. Oh my goodness, those people are vicious on Twitter. Instagram is so soft and loving. Facebook's kind of in the middle, and then Twitter. Because I'm not really business based. I don't do business to business. So I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't utilize it as much.
Right. I think you should. I think you would find yourself a whole new audience there. I think you would find yourself on a whole new fan base there.
I think you're right, because, I mean, 1 in 4 women, domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse. I do reach out to crisis centers because I help them with their fundraisers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But all the people that organise, all the HR people, or the people that organise corporate events and things like that. And apart from that, there's a lot of professional people out there that also need help, right?
We all do.
Right.
We all do. Yeah. Once I was finished with counseling, I thought, okay, I'm healed. I'm done. No, we need to keep the continuing education. We need to keep priming our mind for success.
Right. I agree. So, Rena, if this program could connect you with any one person, you shared earlier on that, I had this thing. I knew I was going to meet Oprah. I knew one day somehow that was going to happen. So if this program, if this little video blog can put you in front of one person and get that call or that email, who would it be?
I think Brene Brown.
Okay.
I quoted her in my TEDx talk, and I would love to meet her. And she has quite a following, and she talks about courage and shame. And so Brene Brown.
Brene, call her right now. Call her right now. 813-614-3720. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
Call her now. You're welcome.
Thank you, Carl. I'll let you know.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Wouldn't you, if this interview finishes and 5 minutes later, hi, Ramon. Hey, how are you doing, Rena?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
Absolutely. So, with that in mind, how can people get hold of you if they want to reach out to you? Where do they find you?
RenaRomano.com, RenaRomano.com, or send me an email at info@RenaRomano.com.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Rena, what can I say? 30 minutes of business banter and badinage has just flown by. I've enjoyed every nanosecond of it.
So have I, Carl.
Thank you. And to everybody out there, don't forget you can catch this show again 24/7, 365. All you've got to do is go to our website. And please, if you do have any challenges that Rena has touched upon, please reach out to her. I know she'll be there and more delighted to help you. So with all of that, until the next time, I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay happy. And most importantly, I want you to stay profitable. All right, we'll catch you next time. Thank you. Thanks, Rena. Take care.